Hey, welcome to another episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Continuing with the BJCP style guidelines, we are now in style 28B, mixed fermentation sour beer. Overall impression, a sour and or funky version of a base style of beer. Now I'm going to leave that on the screen there because we need to do a little grammar check on here. All right, see how it says a sour and or funky version? Well, that would imply it could be sour or funky, which by funky they mean Brett, wild yeast, sour meaning lacto, from the bacteria. They're not the same thing. So they're saying you could be sour or funky or both, but what it really should say is a sour or sour and funky, because if it was just funky, then it would be a 28A, which is a Brett beer. And again, they say a base style of beer, which let me bring up the comments, history, all that stuff. So we'll see. We check out characters and ingredients. Virtually any style of beer, usually fermented by lacto or pediococcus. Can also be a blend of styles. Wood or barrel aging is very common but not required. We'll get into that again on 28C. Style comparison. I don't know why they put that is exactly the same thing as the overall impression, word for word. And again, entry instructions. The entrant must specify a description of the beer. Usually they say must identify a base style, not necessarily a classic style, but they just say specify a description of the beer, identifying the yeast, bacteria used, and either a base style of the ingredients, target. So basically what you're going for with this one. So because a lot of sour beers, they're not really as is the case of this one. I should introduce the beer, even though you know what it is. The Bruery Terreux, Tart of Darkness, sour stout, aged in oak barrels. So this one's straight up. They're saying this is a stout and it's sour, and it was aged in oak barrels. Yeah, let's dive right in. Well, it's a sour, so I'm getting classic sour. That lactose smell, but it's a very fruity kind of a sweet smell. It kind of smells like candy. It's like a grape smell, like black grape, red grape, something like that, with a tartness, spree candies, or some kind of the sour, kind of or sweet tarts actually. Yeah, so I'm getting just huge grape on here. The dark malt is there, but that grape character tends to cut. If you ever had a good imperial stout, actually just a month ago when I reviewed the 𝓑𝓻𝓮𝓲𝓷 Darkness, that was a huge fruit bomb from the dark malt. That's what I'm getting here, but I'm not getting roasty or anything. It could be. This bottle is a year and a half old. All right, so let's check the specs on aroma. Variable by base style. The contribution of non-Saccharomyces microbes should be noticeable to strong, true, and often contribute a sour and or funky wild note, true. The best examples will display a range of aromatics rather than a single dominant character. Yeah, see, I'm going to say a single dominant character, but yeah, there is, it's pretty simple. The aroma should be inviting, not harsh or unpleasant. All right, troops. All right, so, I like the way it smells, and it's definitely sour, and it's clean. It's not solventy or anything like that, but to me, it doesn't really ring stout. So I'm gonna say, can I go 8 or 9 on this? I'll go 9. Maybe we'll come back to that. So appearance, yeah, that looks like a stout. It's just, sure, it looks black on camera. It's black here too. Well, if I hold it to the light, I get a little bit of a ruby red around the edge, but it did have about 2 fingers of dark tan foam, but it just fizzled away. That's typical for a sour, just because of the acidity. But let's check specs on appearance. Variable by base style. Clarity can be variable. Some haze is not a fault. I can't really tell. It looks clear. Head retention can be poor due to high levels of acid or anti-foam properties of some lactobacillus strains. Yep. Wow. All right. So, I guess I'll go the full 3 out of 3 in appearance there. Definitely looks like a stout, but it'd be nice if the foam hung in there. All right. So let's get to the drinking here. Cheers. That's pretty delicious. To me, this doesn't taste like a sour stout. This just tastes kind of reminds me of a Dogfish Head thing. It's like I said with the aroma, it smells like grape. It tastes like grape. It's almost like sour grape juice or something. It does not taste like wine. Get that out of your head. This is not red wine. It's a sour stout, but it's all that lacto is just dominating the palate. So it's again, like what I said with the aroma, that candy kind of a smell or flavor. So that, it's sweet, it's tart, it's sour. Very, very much grape, red grape, black grape, maybe a little bit of white grape in there. Yeah, so sour up front, a little bit of tartness in the back. Actually, well, I would say a moderate amount. I wouldn't say just a little. Yeah, so it's a puckering up front, and then clucking my tongue on the finish. So again, with the aroma, like I said, it was kind of simple smelling. It's kind of simple tasting because it's just sour up front, tart in the back. I'm trying to like really dig in and get that base stout there. Maybe it's just the age of the bottle, but as hard as I try, I just really can't get any dark malt on here. I mean, they made a point of saying, like, right on the label there, that it's roasty. I think roasty and sour would clash. Like, bitter and sourness does not really go at all. But again, it has like that fruitiness that I associate like with stout. Could be from the primary yeast strain fermentation, just those fruity esters, kind of like a British thing. But yeah, I mean, so to me it tastes really good, but it's very simple. And I will say I do get like a little bit of an vanilla oak woody thing, but it is quite subtle. It is not like, I mean, it's not bourbon barrels, so it's not like a Founder's KBS or anything like that. But yeah, as a sour, as a wild beer, it's pretty tasty, but simple. Let's see how it compares to the guidelines. Flavor, variable by base style. No kidding. Look for an agreeable balance between the base beer and the fermentation character. Well, I would say it's not really balanced. It's all fermentation character. A range of results is possible, from fairly highly acidity / funk to a subtle, pleasant, harmonious beer. Yeah, the former. The best examples are pleasurable to drink with the esters and phenols complementing the malt and or hops. Yeah, see, I really can't pick out specific malts and certainly no hops in here. The wild character can be prominent, but does not need to be dominating the style with an otherwise strong malt / hop profile. The acidity should be firm yet enjoyable, but should not be biting or vinegary, prominent or objectionable / offensive. Acetic acid is a fault. All right, yeah, I'm not getting into that. Bitterness tends to be low, especially as sourness increases. Yep, that's true. All right, so I mean, that's kind of like this is, again, an umbrella style because it's basically saying it can either be a classic style that's soured or just kind of a mishmash or whatever they want to do, as long as it's like, a balance of like real beer plus the sour character. I mean, as sour / funky, I mean, yeah, it's there. Just that base brew is very simple. It's just overrided. The wild character just completely upstages the base brew. But again, it tastes delicious. It's just simple. So I mean, it's hard to rate. So I'm gonna kind of split the difference. I'm gonna go 15 out of 20. I know that sounds kind of low, especially considering it's one of the commercial examples. But yeah, mouthfeel. I put it about a medium body, maybe medium full, but the carbonation is quite low in here. I mean, as you can see, it just kind of looks flat, tepid, It doesn't taste it doesn't feel watery or anything. It just kind of feels like, like I feel like it should have like a little bit more. It's only 6.6 ABV, so it's not an imperial stout. I'm going into this, 750 ml bottle they pay $21 for. You go into it thinking you're about to drink like a 12-13% ABV beer. It's only 6.6, so I'm not gonna have any trouble drinking this entire bottle by myself. But at the same time, like, I want like a little bit more. I want more complexity. I want a little bit more, just of everything. The drinkability on it is nice, even though it's very, very sour. It's not a challenge to drink. Just up that carbonation, and I think it would be good. So let's see what the specs say on mouthfeel. Variable by base style, generally a light body, almost always lighter than what might be expected from the base style. Generally moderate to high carbonation, although often lower and higher alcohol example. Okay, so they actually made a point of saying, low ABV, high carbonation, or I'm sorry, high ABV, low carbonation, whatever. But yeah, so this feels a little off to me. I'm gonna go 3 out of 5. Maybe it lost some carbonation with the age or whatever. Overall impression, I could kind of go 7 or 8 on here. I'm gonna go. Let's just say 8. Overall impression, yeah, its total score is 38 out of 50. And not to sound like a broken record, I think this is a tasty beer. It's just very simple, and I'm not really crazy about the mouthfeel. I think needs to be a little bit fixed, but again, it's old, so whatever. All right, so 38 out of 50 for the Bruery Terreux Tart of Darkness. Maybe it's a completely different beer when it's fresh off the bottling line. Who knows? But I mean, I like it. Well, I don't think it's quite worth the $21 that I paid for the bottle. But I'd do anything for you guys. All right, so thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews.
Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.